Unkept promises are hardly a new trend for Lady Gaga's fanbase of Little Monsters. Between cancelled tours such as the co-headlining Fame Kills with Kanye West, scrapped documentaries such as the one promised for ARTPOP, and failed collaborations with the likes of Britney Spears, Elton John, and Cher, fans have gotten quite used to taking everything Gaga says with a grain of salt. But it hasn't always been that way. Back in 2012, when Gaga's third studio album, ARTPOP, was first announced, she confirmed that the album would be split into 2 parts, with each having a staggered release. ARTPOP was released to mixed reviews and the branding of a flop, but its sequel, the long-awaited Act 2, was nowhere to be found. And every time fans were just about prepared to give up on their dreams of a sequel, Gaga would string them along for another few months with the vague promise of soon in an obscure radio interview. To celebrate her career-defining Super Bowl performance, we've decided to look back at one of Gaga's biggest unkept promises and explore the little concrete information we know about ARTPOP Act 2. When Gaga initially envisioned the concept for ARTPOP, it was always as a double album. Originally, Side A, the artistic side, was intended to feature the songs she defined as experimental, while Side B, the pop side, would be filled with the more commercial pop sounds she was well known for. As time went on, however, she realized that separating the album into these 2 dichotomies of art and pop was contradicting the very concept of the album, which was meant to bring them together. Despite this, there was a huge amount of material that had been recorded during Gaga's 5th album sessions. Writing had started right after the release of Born This Way in May 2011, and by the time the Born This Way Ball tour had wrapped up early due to a hip injury, up to 50 songs had been considered for inclusion. Even more songs were written during Gaga's 6-month recovery time, which meant that by the time ARTPOP was released in November 2013, over 90 tracks in various stages of development had been written for the album. Gaga promised that some of these would be released on the ill-fated ARTPOP app that accompanied the album, but others were thought of as special enough to have their own place on a physical album. By the album release date, Gaga had teased that she had plans to release another volume of ARTPOP before its accompanying tour, saying it'll be nice to play both acts on the tour. And ARTPOP Act 2 was still a possibility back in March of 2014, when Gaga discussed it in a post-show keynote at the South by Southwest festival.
There's many volumes of work over a long period of time that have just not been released to the public, because I've chosen not to put it into the system that, because, sometimes it's just fun to have records that me and my friends listen to, and we love it. We don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care. So maybe one day I'll release them. And yeah, I have a whole second active ARTPOP, I do. And I love it.
In April of that year, Gaga stated, "There's a strong possibility I will release another volume of ARTPOP." And then, nothing. Radio silence on the subject. Gaga never spoke about ARTPOP Act 2 publicly again. While we don't know what officially dealt the final blow to ARTPOP Act 2, it's a strong possibility that a mixed reception to the album's predecessor and the perception of it as a flop brought an end to any plans Gaga or her label had for a follow-up, especially with the low chart positions of the album's last single, Guy, which despite a big budget music video hit only number 76 on the Billboard Hot 100. Ironically, ARTPOP as an album did relatively well, hitting number 1 on the charts and going on to become the 9th best-selling album of the year, despite only having 2 fully marketed singles. In August of 2014, Gaga confirmed that we would never receive any music through the ARTPOP app. Her statement that she had moved on from anything to do with her old management bore an ill omen for the album release too. Gaga went on to reinvent her image with 2014's collaborative jazz album Cheek to Cheek with Tony Bennett, before becoming a country chanteuse with last year's Joanne, and ARTPOP Act 2 became just another project to add to the list of Gaga's unkept promises. In an interview with Kiss 92.5 in November of 2013, Gaga stated that she had recorded around 90 songs for the original album, with only 15 of them making the final cut. This leaves around 75 unreleased tracks that we haven't heard, out of which we have concrete titles for 12, a full album's worth. Some of the tracks that were considered for Act 2 include Brooklyn Nights, co-written by the team of DJ White Shadow, Nick Monson, and Dino Zysis that made Applause happen. Brooklyn Nights is a nostalgic ode to the love of Gaga's life, most likely Luke Carl. Brooklyn Nights was a contender for the original ARTPOP album until late in the game, with Gaga teasing it in September of 2013 via a Twitter post, and rumors swirling that the track was competing with Mary Jane Holland for a place on the album. In October, when asked why the song didn't make the cut, Gaga replied, "I wanted to spend more time on it. It will come out via the app sometime during the album cycle." Ultimately, the app ended up with no exclusive songs on it, but the song was leaked in early 2014. In Like With You, Gaga revealed this title in the interview with Kiss 92.5. The song was produced by frequent Gaga collaborator DJ White Shadow, who has also worked on songs such as the ARTPOP single Do What You Want. Marin. This is a title registered onto Gaga's BMI in November of 2012. It was produced by complete newcomers to Gaga's music, Dreamlab, famous for their work with Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato, and John Nation. The song is possibly referencing the picturesque coastal county north of San Francisco. Onion Girl. Gaga revealed this title in the interview with Kiss 92.5. Produced by Zedd, this song could possibly reference Charles Dellin's 2001 novel The Onion Girl, which is named so for the peeling back of layers that occurs to the main character over the course of the book. Party Nauseous. Party Nauseous was originally conceived as a song by Kendrick Lamar featuring Gaga back in 2012. It was planned to be released as a single from Lamar's album, but was cut due to creative differences on which direction the song should take. This slow R&B version of the song leaked in 2015. Later, Gaga reworked the track as an EDM-styled interlude for the Art Rave tour. The song, from Gaga's perspective, details her efforts to make peace with the country of Jakarta, which banned her from performing in 2012. Princess Di. One of the earliest titles written for ARTPOP, Princess Di was first performed on an Australian date of the Born This Way Board tour in June of 2012, and later became a mainstay of the show. Writing in January of that year, Vanity Fair had described Gaga playing the song for them during their interview. Gaga went to the piano to play us a song about fame and celebrity death. Even in its rough stages, it has her trademark catchy chorus, and she sang the sad, slightly bitter lyrics in full voice. Gaga later teased that the song would be released through the ARTPOP app, but this did not come to be. Ratchet. This was a collaboration recorded with Azealia Banks, but it was cut from the original record because Gaga found Banks to, quote, have a... It's possible it could have been re-recorded as a solo venture. We do have a small snippet of Gaga performing it live, and an official instrumental released by the producer DJ White Shadow. Red Flame. This was another collaboration recorded with Banks, but it was cut from the original record. Again, it's possible that Gaga could have re-recorded a solo version. A watermarked version of the song leaked in 2016. Sire. Sire is a song written in 2012 and produced by DJ White Shadow. Gaga sang it backstage for fans in February of 2013 and mentioned that it was inspired by Michael Jackson, who is possibly the sire spoken about in the title. T. Written in 2012, this song was initially confirmed for ARTPOP but failed to make the cut. Gaga teased some lyrics on Twitter which went, "It's been oolong since I've had a sip, and I get this feeling I need a green detox. The truth will be the winner tonight." Temple. Produced by Zedd, Temple was announced in 2013 and was apparently about Gaga's love for then-boyfriend Taylor Kinney. She said, "It's about feeling safe with someone so beautiful on the inside and out. The song is about him being able to love somebody who has a fast-paced life and is always on the road." Tinnitus. Gaga revealed this title in the interview with Kiss 92.5. Produced by EDM producer Madeon, the song's title refers to a condition where one hears ringing in their ears, particularly after hearing loud noises on repeat. There were several other songs recorded during the ARTPOP sessions, which most likely wouldn't make the cut. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe was another Kendrick Lamar collaboration, which Gaga sang the chorus for. After their creative relationship ended, Kendrick released a solo version of the track on his album, while Gaga later leaked her contribution to the song online. Cake Like Lady Gaga is a joking trap track, which was produced by DJ White Shadow and released online for fans. I Wanna Be With You was performed once at the iTunes Festival and is an early version of the ARTPOP track Dope with completely different lyrics. And Stash is a remix of the Z instrumental of the same name, which Gaga released for free for her fans online. But will we ever hear any of these songs? Sadly, given that 4 years have passed since the release of the original ARTPOP, it's doubtful that we'll ever hear the album as it was initially intended. Thanks to some ongoing leaks, we've had enough choice selections released to form a small EP of demos which might have made the cut, but most of the really intriguing tracks like Onion Girl and Tea have gone unheard of for the most part. Early last year, Gaga mentioned in an interview that she had heard her fans' wishes and considered releasing a compilation album of unreleased and rare tracks, but we've heard nothing more about any such project since. All we can hope is that Gaga's team is smart and prepared enough to start releasing anniversary editions of each of her albums. Maybe we'll receive a special edition of ARTPOP for its 10th anniversary in 2023. Until then, we'll have to listen to that live Ratchet snippet on repeat, and be content with wondering what could have been.